Well, good morning, YouTube. Alright, it's just after 4 a.m. I don't remember how far after, but long enough for me to throw on some clothes and brush my teeth after 4 a.m. Grab Jess and take her for a walk. We're going to get on the road early this morning. Let her do her business. I got to get some coffee while Katie's getting ready. We're going to top off with fuel, then hit the road. Alright, now that Jess is done, off to get our coffee. I do gotta say, the one uncomfortable thing about last night was, you see this truck right directly behind me? He's backed into a spot really far. Now they're angled spots, so I get it. They're not nose to nose, but you'll see he's even back compared to the truck next to him. His trailer is actually pushed into the spot behind him because he's set back so far, which normally I wouldn't care about, except that with these angled spots and him backed in that far, it put his reefer unit exactly at our bedroom window. It's a nice night, so we had the windows open until he pulled in, and that thing sat there and ran all night long. So we had to close Katie's window at least to shut out some of the noise. So it wasn't as cool in there as we would have liked. It's pretty chilly out this morning. It would have been great sleep had we been able to keep that window open. This thing is just cool. It's a big ag machine. You know, another thing I don't get, that Coke truck up there that's making the left just flew by this one here in the parking lot in such a hurry. I get it, the guy's not moving fast, but you're in a damn parking lot. Coffee, walk the dog, fuel up the truck, clean the windshield. Now we're gonna hit the road. Fastest route back to Murphy, North Carolina. stay where I want it either. It just keeps moving up. Top one's doing great. The bottom one, I think because it's not that center mount, it's got the higher mount, it's getting too much wind leverage. It's just weird because the other one didn't do it. For 5 years, it stayed put. And then all of a sudden it started not staying put. Buy a new one, and the new one won't stay put. Definitely a little frustrating. Anyway, we took about an hour nap. Katie walked Jessa, and I got about an hour's worth of sleep. And now she's making us some snacks, and we're gonna get back on the road. Hi guys, about 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and we are finally in Paducah, Kentucky. Yeah, put my trash in the trash where it belongs instead of throwing it out in the parking lot. Wish other truckers would learn that. So I gotta clean this windshield again because it is just nasty. I really can't do this with just one hand. I'll be back with you in a minute. Are the windows clean enough, Jessa? Alright, I don't need any fuel. I just really needed to clean the windshield. So I'm going to go ahead and pull forward so I can park there. And then we're going to take Jessa over to the grass for a little bit. Katie is inside grabbing us coffee. You know, sometimes I forget just how long of a state Illinois is. At least when you're coming from the Northeast and going south. Like when you're just running straight across into Indiana, not a big deal. But it just seems like the whole day has been Illinois. And granted, I know we stopped for a little over an hour and took a nap, and that's what makes it feel even longer. But, you know, we were out of Iowa within, what, 10 or 15 minutes of leaving the truck stop? And then all day long to now, it's been Illinois. Now, Kentucky, on this stretch, is only a little over 100 miles. I don't remember exactly. Maybe it's 125. Don't quote me. And then after that, we got about 40 miles to Nashville. And we start getting back in our own neck of the woods. We're in the South. In the South again. That's what matters. And we found the heat. We found that southern heat and humidity. I'm glistening with sweat right now, and I'm not even doing any real work. It's hot in Goliath. But, yeah, I definitely did not miss the humidity while we were out west. Just doing a quick circle check around the truck while we're stopped, while I'm waiting for Katie, and everything is looking good. All tires look good. Nothing looks like it's leaking or doing any weird stuff. So I'm just gonna go inside and use the restroom. I know I got a bathroom right here, but I want to work my legs some. Been sitting in the driver's seat for hours. So I'll go inside, use the restroom. That way I get to walk in. And not to mention, the air conditioning feels nice. You know, when we were cruising on the highway, I thought stopping to get some coffee was a great idea. But now that we're stopped, I don't have that airflow coming in. I'm just literally pouring with sweat. I'm wondering why we got coffee. Katie's actually hooking up a fan to blow on us, and I'm gonna get this thing moving. All right, like I said, I didn't need any fuel here. I'm reading half a tank, which means I've got more than half a tank because the gauge on Goliath always reads lower than what I actually have. So I'm gonna wait until we get into Tennessee somewhere, another couple hundred miles. Somewhere between Nashville and Mont Eagle, I will likely stop and get fuel because that'll get us home and then get us to Kernsville. So I'm looking forward to the next trip as well in planning, because on the way to Ocean City, we always stop at the Sheetz fuel stop in Kernsville, North Carolina, because that's the cheapest fuel on that route. Anyway, at that Sheetz, usually the cheapest fuel we find on that route, and that fuel will get us all the way to Ocean City and then back to that Sheetz again to get fuel when we come back home. But speaking of Sheetz, you can already taste that burrito. I hate that we gotta wait a couple more weeks to get it. So we really weren't stopped very long, probably only about 20 minutes or so. Kind of a zoo getting out of the parking lot, but we're done. Let's get out of here. Alright guys, looks like there's a fire going on over here. We heard some people talking on the CB, and then all of a sudden I saw brake lights. There's a whole bunch of smoke right up there. Not sure exactly what's on fire. Oh, looks like it might just be the grass. Not sure why now. Only another mile or two past that second fire. Traffic's all stopped. As far as I can see, there's a line of traffic. Not sure the reason yet. We're almost to the Tennessee line, but not quite. Guys, just before 4 p.m. It's like 3:55. We are at exit 62. We stopped at the Thornton's fuel stop. It's the cheapest fuel we can find, so we're gonna go ahead and top off over here. Now, I still don't actually need fuel. I could get home on what we've got, but then I'd have to fuel up at home before we went to Ocean City, and the fuel prices at home were generally about $1 more expensive than it is here. So if I can save myself $200 on the fill up, I'm going to do it here, like I was talking about earlier, so we can get over to the Sheets on the way to Ocean City. All right, all in all, not too bad for a fuel stop. Put in about 96 gallons. It brought us up almost to as full as I had it this morning, but not quite. So you figure it took about 100 gallons to get us from Iowa 80 to here. We've only been stopped about 25 minutes. I don't think that's too off the bat for a fuel stop. Luckily, there was no line. So this should be our last stop, I think, before we get home. Next, like, mental goal is Mont Eagle. Then we got to go through Chattanooga, and hopefully there's not a lot of traffic in Chattanooga. There was quite a bit coming into Nashville, and even just getting out of Kentucky into Tennessee. It's almost like Nashville's becoming an Atlanta, and it doesn't matter when you go through, there's traffic. Let's hope that not the case for Chattanooga. It'll be a little bit later in the day by the time we get there. And after that, it's pretty much all back roads home. Unfortunately, it looks like we're coming up on slower traffic than us. I don't know whether I should try to pass them or back out of it. If I back out, we'll never get off. Yep. I think I'm going around. I got a spot. I think I can. I think I can. I think I can. All right, we made it to the top. It levels out here for a little while before we start the descent on the east side. Guys, after stopping at the brake check, I chose 4th gear coming down. Got the Jake brake on and the exhaust brake on. Right now it looks like we're maintaining about 25. With our weight, that's right about where it should be. It says 70 to 75,000 pounds. Maximum speed should be 35. 75 to 80,000 pounds. Maximum speed should be 25. When I weighed in the other day with half tanks of fuel, we were like 72.9. So we'll keep it in the 25, close enough for me. Guys, we successfully made it through Chattanooga and traffic wasn't too bad, short of somebody coming on an on-ramp right in front of me and slamming on the brakes when I was at the bottom of the hill. So it slowed us down, but there was no bad traffic other than that. We made it to I-75, headed north, and we are now on the bypass around Cleveland, Tennessee. So at this point, no more interstates, all back roads, almost there. Chasing the sunset, it's right behind us, casting the shadow of Goliath out front. At this rate, I think we'll make it home before the sun fully sets. So we're running along the side of Ocoee Lake. We're getting ready to enter the Ocoee Gorge. Nice thing is it's not hot anymore. It's actually kind of cool out. It feels very, very nice. Out of the gorge, and apparently it just poured through here, so it's very humid, and there's just these really cool patches of fog in all the little crevices in the mountains. It's really cool, and the moon looks amazing. Well, guys, we didn't completely beat the sunset, but we made it home. Goliath is parked in his spot, and we're really glad to be home. Now, it's only about 20 after 9 right now. When we started this morning, it said our destination arrival time was going to be like 6:20. So somehow we added 3 hours to that. I know we stopped and took a nap for an hour. That whole stop was like an hour and 20 minutes. And then a couple other stops here and there. Probably ate up that other 2 hours. Oh, and the traffic. We got caught in traffic a number of times before Nashville and through Nashville. But I'm so glad that we got it all done in one day. I'm very pleased with that. I think that we woke up this morning in Iowa, and now we are home in North Carolina tonight. It's a great thing. My truck is here. The kids dropped it off earlier because it's fight night, and they didn't want to interrupt their fights because they've all been drinking and stuff to come pick us up. So they dropped my truck off here. So we're going to load the stuff that we need to take home tonight into the truck, and we're going to go home and get a good night's sleep in our home bed, which we haven't been in 2.5 months, if not longer. I forget what day we actually left now, but it was beginning of June. Now here we are, closer to the end of August. We're past middle, not quite end, but yeah, the latter part of August anyways. So anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this whole series of going to Sturgis and Laconia. I mean, this whole trip has just been great. Yellowstone, it's been a lot of fun. Oh, and I did hear from the subscriber that I was going to meet up with last night, and he was actually in Chicago anyways, wasn't able to meet up with me. Apparently his father is sick with cancer or something like that. So I'm not giving out any names or anything like that. I don't want to give any personal information, but, you know, do like general hopes and prayers and whatever, you know, keep him in your thoughts. I know he's going through a hard time, so we want to wish him the best as well. All right, guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. And until the next time I see you, keep those engines running.